What happens when family loyalty disappears and the bloodline becomes a battlefield? Because after what went down on Monday Night Raw, Roman Reigns may have a much bigger problem than he expected. Solo Sikoa was supposed to face Roman's judgment. Instead, Solo made a move that completely changed the situation. And now the question isn't simply, is Solo against Roman? The bigger question is, who is next to turn on the bloodline? Welcome back to Wrestling Realm Unplugged, where we break down the biggest WWE stories without the unnecessary noise. Let's get into this. Solo Sikoa finally makes his move. Let's rewind for a second. The situation between Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa had already been getting worse. After Jey Uso defeated Solo on the previous episode of Raw, Solo was supposed to be delivered to Roman Reigns. WWE had essentially set up a confrontation between the two. And when Solo finally came face-to-face with Roman, you could feel that something wasn't right. But nobody expected what happened next. Solo didn't simply walk away. He didn't apologize. He didn't fall back into line. Instead, Solo Sikoa and LA Knight launched a surprise attack on Roman Reigns and the Usos, and that changes everything. But why would Solo do this? This is where things get interesting. Solo has spent a huge part of his recent WWE story fighting over his position within the bloodline. Roman represents the old power structure. Solo represents someone who has repeatedly tried to establish his own authority. And now, instead of accepting Roman's judgment, Solo has effectively shown that he is willing to stand against him. But there's another name we need to talk about. LA Knight. Because Solo wasn't alone. LA Knight was right there with him. That means this may be bigger than one family disagreement. Roman Reigns has a new problem. Roman Reigns has dealt with betrayal before. He's seen members of his own family leave the bloodline. He's seen alliances collapse. But this situation feels different. Why? Because Roman is now dealing with a Solo Sikoa who appears willing to challenge him directly. And Roman can't simply focus on Solo. He also has to worry about the people around him. The Usos are involved. The bloodline's power structure is already unstable. And now Solo has an alliance with LA Knight. That's a dangerous combination. Is the bloodline collapsing again? Here's the question I can't stop thinking about. Are we watching the beginning of another bloodline war? Because WWE has already shown us that when the family starts turning against itself, things can escalate very quickly, and Roman has now been placed in a situation where he can't assume everybody around him is loyal. Even more interestingly, WWE's Raw results show Roman later honoring Jey and Jimmy after they helped bring Solo to his feet. So despite all the chaos, Roman is still trying to maintain some kind of leadership. But can he? That's the real story. What happens next? Personally, I think WWE has several directions they can take this. Roman could go directly after Solo. The Usos could become Roman's strongest allies. LA Knight could become a major factor in the conflict. And then there's the possibility of another bloodline member getting involved. Because let's be honest, whenever the bloodline starts falling apart, somebody usually ends up choosing a side. And that's why this storyline could become one of the most interesting things happening on Raw right now. So what do you think? Did Solo Sikoa finally betray Roman Reigns? Or is there something much bigger going on behind the scenes? And more importantly, could this be the beginning of another bloodline war? Let me know your prediction in the comments. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe to Wrestling Realm Unplugged, and turn on notifications because we're keeping up with the biggest WWE developments. Until next time, stay locked in.